Is it 7?
Yes.
Well, you watch and have them. They'll probably go to the studio. You have them come here.
Shall we have a drink now?
We can have a drink. You can serve them.
Yes, Alice is in the kitchen.
Well, she's there. She'll tell them. Okay.
What down there is not there.
That's good.
Oh, look at that beautiful endive. Isn't that lovely looking?
It is good. I love it, don't you?
I love it. I love it. Looks wonderfully.
Have a spear.
Have a spear.
Dip it.
Now, Miss Twinkie, do you think you'd like a little?
No, this isn't her.
I'm joking.
Cheese is what she likes, but not this.
She'll be disappointed.
It's a little bit cheesy, but I don't know that she'd really like it.
No, don't know. It'd just be a mess. But all of that's very interesting. And when Mr. Birch came on the same train with Mr. Flagler, they got acquainted, you know.
I
Mr.
see.
Birch, when Mr. Flagler said, I'm going to stop at Hope Sound, that was where that's where they all had to get off.
Oh, that was the station?
That was the end of the line then.
At
and
Hope
Mr.
Sound.
Birch said to Mr. Flagler, I want to go further south because I want to grow citrus fruit. And Mr. Flagler said, I'll lend you my little boat.
Oh.
And so Mr. Birch had Mr. Flagler's little boat, and he was coming down the coast, and a big storm was coming up as he approached the inlet here. And he said, this is where God meant me to be, this is where I will stay. He came into the inlet, you know, with the approaching storm. And this was how picturesque he was.
And this was in 1893?
This was
he
1893,
found the inlet.
Yes. And then he began to buy land from the Indians and the government.
From the Indians?
Indians and the government along. This is it.
I suppose the Seminoles owned the land here.
Seminoles, of course. But all of that is quite interesting.
That's fascinating.
The ancestors are the ones who do the thatching.
Uh-huh.
Indians who do the thatching of the...
Oh, the thatching, yes.
The ancestors.
Yes. Well, the same tribe, I suppose.
Descendants of the same tribe.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Thomas.
Well, you don't fly down very often now, do you?
I don't fly down at all. I've been... But in the old days, when the trains were good, you know, it wasn't too bad.
Oh, it was lovely.
It was lots of fun, really.
And Frederic always wanted to be on the train on Christmas Day.
Oh, really?
He couldn't bear the doings of Christmas. No. So we used to have, that was the date we usually came.
Well, the Chicago World's Fair of 1893 was the greatest fair that's ever been held in the United States.
And that was the one that roused Frederic. He was a youth then, you know. And he and Robert Allerton would spend every night of that summer
Watching the buildings and the...
And that is what made him
event.
decide
To
that
be
he
an
wanted
artist.
to go to Europe and study art.
Isn't that fascinating? So Mr. Birch left in disgust at the idea of social events, and Frederic Bartlett was fascinated by the creativity, because it was the most creative fair that's ever been held.
And of course nothing like it had been.
It was the origin of Olmsted, the origin of Louis Sullivan, the origin of so many artists and people who became a feature of the creative life of America for the next 20 years or more.
More.
Yes.
Well, now we're heading for the next great year, the 500th anniversary, 1990 of the nation in 1996, 1992. This was
16 years before.
16 years before, and they said we haven't even had the bicentennial. The secretary's already thinking of 92. But that's what he's always done. He said, you better get busy, it'll be too late.
It's true, unless you start planning ahead, or you think like the World's Fair. It's
Well, they were almost caught behind the 8 ball. The bicentennial wouldn't have had.
Did you make it big? I think Thomas is gone. She thought, I guess.
Carl, his wife's name was
Mrs. Weinhardt, what's her name?
Her name is,
First name was Azuba.
I wanted to call.
what do you think my
Amazing.
grandmother?
I wanted
No.
to call
Jerusha.
Jerusha. Oh, that's a lovely
Jerusha Ann.
That's a lovely name,
Jerusha
Jerusha.
Ann.
Well, I wanted to call Julie
Isn't
Azuba
Jerusha
Snow.
in one of Thornton
And every time
Wilder's
I've
plays?
even,
I remember.
I wanted to call Julie Azuba Snow.
Oh, you did?
And every time that we've had a granddaughter, I suggested Azuba, but I've never had to take her yet.
Don't you
No,
think
I don't believe you
Azuba is
will.
a fun
I
name.
just thought
Yeah,
it
sound
fun.
like it. Oops.
Her name,
But I
her
think those
maiden name was
old names
Azuba
are
They
Snow.
are fun.
That's lovely.
And she married.
You see,
Dwight
we're
Griffith,
looking in the
so-
genealogies, and Dillon
she
had a
was the mother of
snow,
Dwight.
and I had a storm.
Now, will you reach over and help yourself with
That was
this?
an endive, I love it. Indeed.
Got off the track, so we gotta
Indeed.
get on the track.
We used to say, Ondine. Crazy. I don't like Dwight Griffith. That's so vulgar.
He didn't see anything about it, except he
Thank
knew
you
what had
very
happened, that Bill Bednar shot himself.
And if you don't,
Ralph read it, now,
If you
you
don't-
can't come back.
you don't get the same
Vice
thing,
versa.
Dylan, I
Dylan read it to me.
suppose they think you're a snob.
Well, he didn't tell me that.
Easy to digest, perhaps.
Got
I
to
read
go
it
along
to
with all this
Ralph
stuff.
because I'd heard about it from the
You
Birch.
heard about it, but see, you knew about it, but you said the Burdens didn't about it.
They did. They knew all about it.
Hello.
I'm so sorry, we couldn't get him together.
Hello, dear.
How are you? Good to see you.
Now tell me your name, because all of a sudden I forgot. What? Annetta, Annetta, Annetta.
Is your first name Netta?
Annetta. Hello, Annetta.
Netta.
Call me Netta. We met before. Yes, nice to see you again.
You know, there's a genus of duck called Netta.
Oh, really?
Netta rufina.
N-E-T-T-A?
N-E-T-T.
Well, tell me, what
Netta
does that look like?
It's the red-crested poacher. Red-crested. It has rufina. It has a...
On my fingers. Well, no, it's a nice place. Six, seven. Well,
Yes, they do, and they're not going to interfere.
Sound like me with
I saw those figures. I didn't recognize them.
Well, they're very peculiar. because I don't mean that really in that sense. They're lovely. They're beautiful. They really are. They're peculiar to me. It's a symbol.
Thomas Bartlett.
That is a problem, which is one of the problems of the Mediterranean.
They are.
It's not really
They look like
a
bunches of
sea.
green grapes.
It's part of us
But
really.
they haven't developed into full color yet. But I don't mind that.
Purplish.
Straits of Gibraltar in those days were quite.
I think what happened, there was no word on that cake.